reverse privatisation of Victoria's energy market. Is that level of competition a good idea in order to make prices more competitive?
Well, I think from the outset, Danica, we need to call this out for what it is. This is an announcement by the Labor Party for the Labor Party. This is all about trying to ensure an election gets sewed up. We know that it came the day after billions of dollars were announced by the Prime Minister, Anthony Albanese, for his mate, Dan Andrews, to help him with this portfolio area in Victoria. And then Dan Andrews is establishing his own business. For Victorians, if you couldn't get any good news and good performance out of Dan Andrews when it came to COVID-19 management, well, good luck having Dan Andrews keeping you warm during winter. Good luck with that. I think this spells danger for Victoria because it will increase prices and it will make the system far more unreliable because it will bring forward the closure of baseload power without any guarantee that a replacement will be there in time for the people of Victoria. This is the risk that it represents, but it's what Dan Andrews needs if he wants to get those inner city seats and push away the Greens. That's all this is about.
But in a time when electricity prices are increasing and household budgets are strained, isn't competition a good thing?
Well, indeed, you've gone there, Danica, to the heart of this entire issue. We need to do everything we can, whether it be state governments or the federal government, to reduce power prices, not increase them. Now, Labor Party has form on this, and the Andrews government has aided and abetted the Albanese government and seeing prices go up. And I say that because the Albanese government had promised the Australian people power prices would be reduced by $275 for households. Since they've come to office, they have skyrocketed. Now, one of the problems we have here is you have states like Victoria refusing to get more gas into the system. We need more gas, not less. If there's any deal that should be done right now between Albanese and Andrews, between the federal government and the state of Victoria, it should be to have more gas in the system. Instead, they are looking at a plan that will actually reduce gas, bring forward the closure of baseload power, and have an enormous acceleration of spend on infrastructure for renewables up to 95% of the grid. Never done anywhere in the world, but suddenly Victoria is going to do it. It doesn't help competition, by the way, at all. Suddenly now you'll have the private sector in competition with the state government at a time when really the big message is you need to attract inbound capital. That's not how you attract capital, not the real economy.
Well, speaking of gas, would you like to see the gas trigger pulled? The federal government says it has reached the right solution on the matter, but do you think it's time?
I think they've totally botched that one, Danica. We were saying from day one in opposition that they should be using that gas trigger to threaten the gas supplies, that they will pull that trigger if needed. Now, unfortunately, we have the Energy Minister himself. He spent weeks trying to undermine that very mechanism, only then to have the Resource Minister try and negotiate a deal. So no wonder the deal came to absolutely nothing. The answer here is we need more gas in the system. One, they need to ensure that they encourage the unlocking of gas basins, including in Victoria, by the way. Two, they need to ensure that they have infrastructure for gas pipelines in next week's budget, just like we had, by the way. They need to respect and honour the $50 million in our budget earlier this year. And three, they need to make sure the capacity mechanism includes gas, as it should coal, by the way, exactly as the Energy Security Board recommended.
Ted O'Brien, we do have to leave it there. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much.